U.S. and Philippines targeted Chinese fishing vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Welcome to our video on the ongoing conflict between China, the Philippines, and the U.S. in the West Philippine Sea. In recent years, tensions have escalated between these nations, leading to confrontations and even violence on occasion. In this video, we'll provide an in-depth look at the situation, including the reasons behind the conflict, the legal implications, and what the future might hold. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and his Foreign Secretary had a meeting with the Chinese Foreign Minister Xin Zhang. During the meeting, both Manila and Beijing expressed their commitment to working together to find a resolution to their maritime disputes in the South China Sea. These talks between the key officials of the two countries were held in Manila and are part of a series of high-level meetings between the Philippines, the United States, and China. These meetings are taking place as the two superpowers compete for strategic dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. The West Philippine Sea, also known as the South China Sea, is a highly contested region, with numerous countries claiming sovereignty over various islands, reefs, and waters. China claims most of the sea as its own based on what it calls its 9-line map. However, this claim is not recognized by the United Nations, nor by many of China's neighbors, including the Philippines and the U.S. One of the main sources of conflict in the West Philippine Sea is fishing. The region is home to vast fish stocks, which are a vital resource for the people who live there. However, Chinese fishing vessels have been accused of encroaching on the waters of other countries, including the Philippines and the U.S., and engaging in illegal fishing practices, such as the use of cyanide and dynamite. The Philippine government has been particularly vocal in its opposition to China's actions in the West Philippine Sea. In recent years, the Philippines has filed several diplomatic protests against China, accusing it of violating its sovereignty and territorial rights. In response, China has dismissed these protests as groundless and insisted that it has every right to fish in the region. The U.S. has also become increasingly involved in the conflict in the West Philippine Sea. In 2020, the U.S. Navy conducted several freedom of navigation operations in the region, sailing near islands that are claimed by China but not recognized by the international community. The U.S. has also provided military aid to the Philippines, including patrol boats and weapons. In a statement, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced that both China and the Philippines have agreed to establish more lines of communication to swiftly address any conflicts that may arise in the West Philippine Sea. Manila refers to this particular part of the South China Sea as its own. Marcos further expressed his appreciation for Xin's visit and emphasized its positive impact on the bilateral relationship between the two neighboring countries. During the bilateral talks, Xin Zhang and Philippine Foreign Secretary Enrique Manalo exchanged their perspectives on strategic and regional issues. Earlier this month, the Philippines revealed the locations of 4 new U.S. military bases, with 3 of them facing towards Taiwan, an area claimed by China. During this time, Philippine Foreign Secretary Enrique Manalo reiterated the country's commitment to the One China policy, while also expressing concerns over the increasing tensions in the Taiwan Strait. Recently, the Chinese ambassador to the Philippines sparked controversy when he accused the Southeast Asian nation of aggravating regional tensions by allowing expanded access to U.S. military bases. He also accused the United States of interference in the region. The Foreign Minister of Manila recently stated that the relationship between Manila and Beijing extends beyond their disagreements concerning the South China Sea. This waterway serves as a crucial passage for approximately $3 trillion worth of shipborne goods each year and is believed to possess valuable mineral and oil and gas deposits. The foreign minister emphasized that despite their differences, it is essential to find effective ways of managing them particularly concerning the rights of Filipinos, especially fishermen. The livelihoods of these individuals are being jeopardized by incidents and actions in the waterway. Since assuming office in June, Marcos has lodged numerous diplomatic protests regarding the presence of Chinese fishing vessels and what it deems as Chinese aggressive actions in the strategic waterway. In May, Marcos is scheduled to meet with U.S. President Joe Biden in Washington, shortly after the conclusion of the largest ever joint military exercises between more than 17,000 Philippine and U.S. soldiers in the Southeast Asian nation. This move has drawn criticism from Beijing. U.S. and Philippine forces fire on mock enemy warship in South China Sea military exercise. On Wednesday, as tensions with China continue to escalate, U.S. and Philippine forces engaged in an exercise in the South China Sea, during which they fired at a simulated enemy warship. This demonstration of American military might in Asia was viewed by Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as part of the annual Balikatan drills. These drills, the largest ever conducted by the two long-standing treaty allies, involve over 17,600 military personnel. As per a military statement released by the Philippines, a joint exercise involving U.S. aircraft, including F-35 and F-16 fighter jets, as well as HIMARS rocket systems and Cobra helicopters, along with Philippine FA-50 fighter jets, helicopters, and artillery, fired upon a decommissioned warship located in Philippine territorial waters off the island of Luzon. Luzon, the northernmost main island of the Philippines, is situated just 280 miles or 452 kilometers from Taiwan, a self-governed island claimed by the Chinese Communist Party despite never having ruled it. Earlier this month, Chinese state-run media referred to the drills as an attempt to target China. According to the U.S. and Philippine military leaders, the exercise on Wednesday was aimed at synchronizing combat forces. This training increased the exercise's realism and complexity, a key priority shared between the armed forces of the Philippines and the U.S. military, stated Lieutenant General William Gurney, the commander of U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific. HIMARS and Marines. China asserts its indisputable sovereignty over almost all of the 1.3 million square mile South China Sea, including numerous islands claimed by the Philippines, despite a 2016 International Tribunal ruling that refuted its supported historical rights in the region. Tensions in the South China Sea have surged in recent months, with the Philippines claiming that a Chinese Coast Guard vessel targeted a Philippine Coast Guard vessel's crew with a military-grade laser, temporarily blinding them. In addition to Tuesday's exercise, this year's Balikatan drills have included weaponry that's been battle-tested by Ukrainian troops against Russian forces, including handheld Javelin anti-tank missiles and HIMARS rocket systems. Another significant component has been the presence of the U.S.'s 3rd Marine Littoral Regiment, which is a new concept for Marine Corps warfighting intended to confront China, according to analysts. The unit is designed to be highly mobile, carry out strike operations, provide air and missile defense, and support naval surface warfare, according to Marine Corps statements. According to a statement from the U.S. Embassy in Manila, the drills have also included amphibious operations, maritime security, cyber defense and counterterrorism operations, as well as humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. As tensions continue to simmer in the West Philippine Sea, the situation remains highly complex and unpredictable. While some hope that diplomatic solutions can be found, others fear that the conflict could escalate into a larger military confrontation. Whatever the future holds, it's clear that the conflict in the West Philippine Sea will continue to be a major source of tension and instability in the region for the foreseeable future. Thank you for watching, and we hope you found this video informative.